The Fulani security, they say they've been operating for 5 years now, like you said, 5 years or so, it's going to be corrected.
Sure.
That does not give them the legitimacy because they did not obtain permit of operations from the Ministry of Justice. So if we are to say all the 16 tribes of Liberia, as you may be aware that Fula is now a tribe that form part of our 16 tribes in Liberia. We are now trying to buy more than or to try to exclude them. But the fact remains that if we were saying that all the 16 tribes of Liberia, we try to organize our specific security grouping to protect them, then we will be doing the job of the Liberian National Police, which of course we don't want to do. So it's good, like we said, the Ministry of Justice released statements and put in court today, and they also have summoned the Ministry of Justice and Gregory Kuma as well to go and answer questions. So we want to say thanks to those authoritative bodies of our country that have taken seats of this matter. Yeah.
I think there's a good word because Liberia is a modern democratic state. You understand? And basically, this state operates on a fundamental principle. Liberia operates on a fundamental principle from our sector, especially from our security sector. Now, only the state has legal authority to provide security. So coming up with another auxiliary security group, it has serious security implications. So if another auxiliary security group is not being organized by the Liberia National Police, if another auxiliary security group is not being organized by the armed forces of Liberia or other legally established security agencies, meaning there is a legal risk attached to that. So I think we need to be cognizant of it, and we need to follow all of the rules and regulations as it relates to this. Because talking about legal risk, you're gonna be looking at the unorganized security operations. Now, organizing this Fulani Security Association of Liberia because of the whole month of Ramadan, it's a good one. It's a good one, but that take into consideration of the patrol weapons that are going to be used, because you need to be protected, right? That take into consideration that you having a criminal, mistaken a criminal wants to invade. How will you protect yourself? So you will have to use battle. So all these things, they have legal security risks attached to them. Illegal uniform. We saw them wearing a uniform, I think a khaki and a blue. How did they got that uniform? What process? What was the legal proceeding of them obtaining that uniform? Who gave them the authorization? It's not about being sentimental. It's not about somehow. It's good that the Fulani community organized such, but I think in organizing such, there must be a proper standard and a principle be met to the legal process and that of the Ministry of Justice, because there are too many questions that will actually be raised on this particular issue, especially when it comes to impersonation of state security. Recently, we witnessed a viral Facebook video wherein two gentlemen were caught wearing the full uniform of an AFL personnel impersonation. Yeah, these days things still happening. You find them all places. You find them Rala, you find them Wallace, you find them Douala. People still pretend to be police or security apparatus in their dispensation. And I think it's bad for us. Organizing the national Fulani security is good, but it has some legal risks attached to it, especially when this situation does not meet the referral proceeding to the Ministry of Justice. What do you have to say concerning that before I can read this from one of the minister from the executive branch of government?
So, Christopher, in my intro on this issue that you just weighed in on the establishment and the existence in past years of the national Fulani security that have been established, that was established years back to protect specifically the Muslim religion in Liberia and more particular the Fulani community, right?
Yeah.
This organizations, like they say, have been into place and did not meet constitutional bounding One, to receive a permit from the Ministry of Justice before operating. On what grounds have they been operating? So one, they have violated a constitutional mandate.
Okay.
One, so I think they should be held liable for that constitutional right they have broken. Article 80B of the 1986 Constitution.
Okay.
Before going further. Yeah. Although they have been put to halt for operation, all the operation have ceased. I guess all people are taking to the social media defending them. Oh, they are going national police. People should not be bad-mouthing these people. They have been protecting themselves, and the Liberia National Police should be able to buttress their efforts. No. If they wanted the Liberia National Police to buttress their efforts, they should have self-permit from the authorized body, that's the Ministry of Justice.
Okay.
Other than that, they are violated and should be held liable for their violations. Now, for us to be pampering them to say, oh, these people should be spoon-fed, they should be the Liberia National Police should budget their efforts to be able to train these men. On what ground they have been operating? It raises a lot of questions. Like you said, it raises security implications, right? Christopher, as you may be aware, neighboring countries around us have witnessed the issue of terroristic threats or terroristic acts, right? Nigeria, you can name many of them, right? We are not saying these people want to do same in our country. That's what that's not what we are saying, right? Yes. So I want to say thanks to the House of Representatives who have taken seats to this matter and have invited those in authority to answer questions on how the people have been operating over the years. Yes.
I think it's a good one, and besides, there have been series of different posts on Facebook, especially from prominent figures of the government, and who are also part of the Fulani government. And one person is the minister for that's I want to get this correct. The Minister of State for Presidential Envoy, and he's Ambassador Mohamed Ba. He posted a few days ago. Let me see what I can lay my hands on what he posted, and I think that piece was a very quick one. He spoke like a patriot. So let me just read what the minister wrote, and he's the Deputy Minister for Presidential Envoy. He said, in recent days, a video circulating on social media here in Liberia has generated widespread discussion and concern regarding a group referred to as the Fula National Security, as a proud member of the Fula community and at the same time a senior government official. I believe it is important for me to clearly state my position on this matter. First and foremost, no ethnic group in our country has the right to establish its own security structure, especially one branded or presented as a form of national security. The concept of national security is reserved solely for the Republic of Liberia and its legal established state security institutions. Any parallel structure, regardless of intention, creates misunderstanding, tension, and the potential for division. I have personally engaged in discussion with the leader of the group in questions and urged that it be disbanded from our conversation. It was made clear that the original intention behind its formation was not to create a militia or to promote any form of ethnic-based organization. Rather, the state objective was to provide protection for the mosques and certain businesses within a community. However, regardless of the intention, the naming and branding of the group as Fula National Security is wrong. It sends the wrong message. It creates unnecessary alarm. It risks portraying our peaceful Fula community as operating outside the bounds of national law and unity. That perception alone is damaging not only to the Fula people but to the broader fabric of our nation. Liberia is a country governed by law. Security matters are the responsibility of the state and its organized and its authorized institutions. Community members, like all citizens, have the right to seek lawful means of protecting their place of worship in businesses, but this must always be done in coordination with appropriate national security agencies within the framework of the law. As a Fula, I am proud of our heritage, our contribution to commerce, and our role in national development. As a government official, my loyalty is first and foremost to Liberia and to the unity of all its people. Ethnicity must be used intentionally or unintentionally in ways that suggest separation from national structure. Let me be clear, the naming was inappropriate, the branding was inappropriate, and steps have been taken to ensure the group is disbanded. We must remain committed to peace, equality, and national cohesion. Liberia belongs to all of us, and our security must always remain one and indispensable honor the republic. That was it, Tana. I mean,
So Christopher, when
he's from
you
the Minister of State.
yeah, so if you're listening thoroughly to what you just read, I took uh, three key points down. One, in his reading, he said, no ethnic group,
Mhm,
no ethnic group in Liberia
mhm,
is allowed to organize or security to specifically protect them.
mhm,
For example, the people of Nema, maybe the Gil tribe of Liberia,
mhm.
or the Manu tribe. Maybe they form the Nema, let me say
The Nima Defense Force.
the Gil
Gil
Defense
Defense
Force,
Force.
right?
Yeah.
A specific tribe now.
Yeah.
How does it sound? The name, in fact, it undermines the entire operations of that particular group.
Certainly.
Because it tells you that this group was established solely to protect this particular group. You witness of situations with the Fulat lady and that of the LEC man, right?
Yeah.
You saw how the Fulanese came together. They are united.
Sure.
They came together in solidarity of that lady. They said her rights were violated as a Muslim woman,
Okay.
right? They came in solidarity for her. So if similar thing occurs, on the other hand, what do you think? Those that have this particular group we are talking about, the Fula group, will come in defense
Certainly.
of the Fula community. We don't want to say, oh, they were established solely to protect Muslims. They were given a specific name. So the name itself undermines the establishment of operations of that group.
Okay.
You see that?
So Tana, let me hold you there and bring in this fellow. He's Mr. Melvin D. Kamara, and he's been one person who's been very concerned about this entire situation. He's been expressing his view one way or the other, and of course, he's been contributing to national issue of concern. Good evening, Mr. Melvin D. Kamara. You live on EOBC Radio. Thanks for joining.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
it's a pleasure. I mean, to be live talking about this, the opportunity given. I appreciate it a lot.
Thank you so much, Melvin, and also thanks for being part of this program, Netline Liberia. You've been following this latest issue and latest trending news all through the Liberian media landscape. You are a Liberian based in Canada. You are also being weighed in your own thought. You've been providing some analysis as it relates to this. The National Fulani Security of Liberia. Yeah, National Fulani Security. I don't want to attack Liberia. This group organized themselves for the intent to safeguard the Muslim community. But unfortunately, the Ministry of Justice just halted that entire progress. You've been providing your own view. Bring her up to speed as it relates to this. What's your own take of it?
Well, first of all, the Constitution provides that people are allowed to assemble on a free speech and protection,
Okay.
and we should not, do all that. But a free speech that is set victory, a free speech that stereotypes people, a free speech that separates system of governance, and that is so racial and discriminatory, It is not welcome whatsoever. And the Constitution of Liberia does not elucidate to any said topic.
But do you
That
think?
being said,
Mhm. Go ahead.
that that being said,
Hmm.
we recognize that people are concerned. They have security issues. They have religious issues. But we also recognize that they don't have the sole authority to take their protection in the way in which they are going about it.
Mhm.
They can have, like for example, they can have a vigilante group, which has been going on. Say, oh, vigilante group in the community, safeguarding the community, blah blah blah. Another instance where it's for the needs in this community, and the vigilante group support the safety of the community, that is completely law abiding. But when
Mhm.
you got the same Fulani, vigilante only for Fulani protection, that is the discriminatory against the other people, and that is he is separatist.
Mhm.
He is religion. And
Moreover, mo-
Labra being a secular state,
Mhm.
that is exactly why Labra is a secular state. Because this debate has been going on for a very long time, saying Labra should be a Christian state, Labra will follow all the Christian principle, and blah blah blah. Labra coming on the Bible being a secular state exemplifies the step in unification
Mhm.
that Sudanese, those things they are welcome and it is a country that belongs to us all. So we are saying, oh, Liberia, we don't care, you pay a private budget, talk with that, so we stick with providing that statistics and data has proven that Liberia up to now is a Christian dominant nation. Even in the parliament, the president, all the president are really the president of Liberia Christian. That is the 100% of the law because of Liberia are Christians.
Let,
You
let,
know what
let,
I'm saying?
let's just stick
So
to the issue. So I want to know, Melvin, do you think that this situation reflects a failure of national security?
it does. And that's the issue where that's the issue how this impact on negative.
Mhm.
Look at the issue where there was a situation where the policeman and full out of power death, they
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
come with the
yeah. I do
man,
remember
they
that.
want to fight, what happens after that? The full out people came, that's the and then you blah 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 and blah blah blah. But yet there's still the same full out people that will policemen go and arrest Christian people and circles or such happen, you don't hear them talking. You don't hear them talking. So what to the extent where they're organizing their own institution is going to be rapid, not giving them power to do whatever they want because they are Fulani. So whether if Christian men get in contact with Fulani or they get into a confrontation or when a local hand, the Fulani security will come in and do whatever they can to rescue or protect the Fulani men without even concerned what's going on. Because now they have people right to protect their Fulani people. That's why they're going to have that national security for to protect the Fulani people. You know what I'm saying? So it's going to be detrimental to us and the security of the state.
Okay, so Melvin,
Yeah,
can you hear me?
yeah,
So, in that same vein, the Minister of Justice also released a press statement holding hope to that process. Do you also believe the government acted quickly enough to address this situation, or do you think that the public reaction forced the Ministry of Justice to release such a press statement?
but first of all, we don't build laws and policy on public reaction or sentiments. We
Okay.
build laws on what is right for the majority of the population. It's not because 10 people got up to the express at this time about how laws and policy are that they will change it or oppose or no. That's not what laws is still about. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
The food that people will regard them. I don't think that the government were wrong for making a decision of halting the process, or you mean like dismissing it. I don't think they were wrong. And I think there's some people that are responsible to do certain things to make those decisions, right? I think halting the process is right. Instead of dismissing it in a sort of way, because it gives the both parties, the Sudanese and the government of Liberia, to understand and come to compromise, to understand what the Sudanese issues are and how it can be remedies so that they can compromise because the government at the end of the day, whether that's Sula or a Christian, the government is for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Got
So
you.
I applaud the government for not doing this. They see their concern. It's going to be very violent. But to put the project they did with 50 states, okay, guys, let me just do this. Let's see what you're talking about. Let's see what we can do and what we can compromise. I believe it's the best place the government is here right now.
So before I take,
Speaking
before
as an
you want, okay, go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
speaking as an individual, I am listen, my name is Melvin Kamara. Okay, I have a Muslim background. I'm not downlooking all Muslim or blah blah blah. What I'm saying to them is this is an act of separatism. You are whatever you're trying to do is separating yourself, showing how different you are from the majority of Liberian people. Okay, Liberia is a free place. Not that the T-shirt is from Afro people and Muslim people. They kind of want the economy. More freedom they want from the local community. That's one. Two, because you're about 210% of the town population. Christians and others that are more majority in the country. You understand what I'm saying? But yet, you still have Ramadan celebration. You still have other Muslim celebration you want. That's for your prayer. You still have buses and Muslim schools around the country. You are welcome in the country. The only thing that you have issue with accepting and Liberia country. No Liberia is safe more than any other person in Liberia. Because let's at the thing about one country. If Flavia is not safe one person, I say I'm safe. There's no celebration about that. That one is safe. So instead of creating a single address individual problem, it's sociology they call it band-aids. Band-aids are solution to addressing the root cause problem. Every Liberian not saying not the Flavia. Not Flavia, no food in the general question.
Fast forward.
Something.
Fast forward, Mr. Kamara. Before we take leave of you, this is the very last question. Looking forward to solution. What do you think is the best way forward to ensure both national security and community confidence without creating fear or this kind of division we're talking about right now?
The government should come up with things that's going on. The government should come up with schemes of reassurance. Because they must prolific step that the government has taken that far since the establishment to show inclusion is to allow everybody is understood. Not to tell you how legally and constitutionally allowing Liberia, you are a Liberian part of us. That's the first and paramount goal of inclusion. That is, then they should at least give a thought before taking it or somewhat. That's the that. The government should come out here and reassure the Islamic people because of what they are minority of people in the country. So in some instances they feel like they are not welcome, they are being, they are treated extorted. I would get that. So what the government should do is recognize that concern and reassure them their commitment that the culture is for everybody and they are going to welcome modalities to make them feel welcome and included. That's the second thing the government should do. And then the third thing the government should do is to tell them the indication of what they are about to do or what they are into. And tell them that they will handle the situation. But I think the government has to control it anyway. The government, my final recommendation or resolution today says to find a framework that supports the inclusion of everybody, whether you're Muslim, you Buddhist, or you Buddhist, or whatever. Most Liberians are secular state is not just for Muslim Christian. That's not what secular is. It's for everybody. Then there are Baptists, there are Jews, there are people from different denominations. So I want the government to come out and set up a framework that includes all of these people, equal participation into security processing. So they say, okay, we got to tell you for sure the flag was only your right to be mine. But if you look at the Liberia National Police right now, all you need armed forces, up to 90 to 100% of the people in the military that are in their country, you'll be very far like Muslim and speaking, blah, blah, blah. I'm not doubting that they are not there, but what's the ratio? It's very low. So they have security concern because Christian are majority in the country plus the security people in the army, in the security, in the police, majority of them are Christian. So the minority Muslim don't fix it, I get that. So then the government come and tell the Muslim that they can reassure them that the security of the country will prioritize the safety of everybody and they will be included into the security process. I think that for me, we need for the Muslim community that they should be pushing power. We still have their own security system. Who's going to support that? The government money. The government doesn't have to support the area or the yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Melvin, for weighing your opinion on this matter. We look forward to more, and we hope that I can bring you some days to provide more tips on national concern.
Thank you, brother. You have a good day.
Thank you so much. It's Melvin Kamara, Liberian based in Canada. Tana, you listen to him. His opinion was well balanced, word of 10 million, despite he raised too many issues, especially when it comes to the religious sensitivity of this entire security thing. What's your take on it?
So maybe say a whole lot,
Mm-hmm.
and security issues should be left with security apparatus.
Certainly.
That's one thing I captured from his opinion on this issue we are discussing.
Mhm.
Because the Constitution gives the authority to our joint security apparatus to provide a safe countries for all Liberians.
Sure.
All Liberians, even our foreign counterparts who are residing within Liberia, we have the joint security. So if we are to say all the tribes of Liberia will now trust the security apparatus who have been given this legitimate right under the Constitution to safeguard our country, to stop organizing their various groupings, then we will be heading for different things.
Can you read something from a Liberian Fulani? I think I sent you something.
Okay, so
Yeah, I just want you to read that, please. I mean, he's one person who was very bold to the point. He said his father is from Guinea, his mother is from Guinea, but he was born in Liberia. But he was just straightforward to the point. So I don't know whether you can highlight that particular release from him, and let's have a balanced conversation with this. It's not about being sentimental. I don't know whether you have it.
yeah, see if I can read my answer.
I can just use this. I have it here.
Okay,
Okay.
let me just read this. So, a member of the National Fulani Security of Liberia writes,
Mhm.
my name is Mustat Diallo.
Mhm.
I was born and raised in Liberia. This is my home. My parents came from Guinea, became Liberian citizens by law. That makes me Liberian by birth, and my blood of this land. I'm a blood of this land, probably. I love Liberia, and I will never stand by anything that threatens its peace. Yes, I have been part of the former
Mhm.
the former food ad security since 2021. But let me be clear from my heart, I'm against the name, the ethnic labeling. The name has caused fear, pain, and misunderstanding. It has turned brothers against brothers. What hurts the most is hearing people call us terrorists and Boko Haram. That accusation cut deep. The initiative existed since the time of Ellen Johnson Sirleaf when she was president. If our hearts were evil, that girl would have felt it long ago, but it did not because our intentions were never violent. We wanted to serve and protect our fellow Muslims, not replace the state or break the law. And to my own Huda brothers, the reason why I'm against some of my Huda brothers' careless words because some of you guys are only there to add gas to the fire. I was expecting us to stand by each other so we can make them understand that we are not Boko Haram. Let me be firm. I do not support tribal security. Security belongs to the state. I stand for peace, law, and the dignity of every Liberian. I speak today not to defy, but to heal, clarify, and protect our future. See that? So security matters. Security matters should be left with the securities.
It was very poor.
Yes. See that? He spoke as a patriotic Liberian as he is, right?
Mhm.
Both parents hails from Guinea, became citizen of Liberia by law. That's by naturalization,
Mhm.
right? He was given birth here, so by law, he's a citizen of this country by birth. right?
One thing he said that I admire, that security should be dealt with the security
With
apparatus.
the security apparatus, right? Although, like he said in his right out, their intention were never bad. If they were, he said that bro, we have felt a long time ago. But I don't think so, right?
But
So
I believe that their intention, this particular intention about the national Fulani security was not bad. But
yeah,
I believe that the rightful channel was not met.
the Ruffle channel was not
I just probably part of the too
principle.
many legal opinions have been popping
And
up on
again,
Facebook.
the nomenclature given to that particular grouping on a mass state, like he says, right? You see that? The meaning of the group is that is not in place. Labeling a particular security group to or specific ethnic groups is wrong. It's wrong. We witnessed that in South China. You saw we were not around when when the war between the Gil people and now the is that the Gil and the Crown
Yeah,
people? You see
you're in
that?
crime. I
We were
mean,
not around, but
it
like
was
our fathers and
it
mothers
was
said,
catastrophe. Honestly,
it was very horrible, right? It was horrible. So we don't want to witness it. So we want to say kudos out to the nation. I'm so thankful to them for putting heart to the operation of
do you
this
have
particular
Fuda
group.
friends? Do you have friends from the Fuda community?
No, not that I've not had Fuda friends.
Okay.
Yeah.
But let's listen to the excerpt. Let's listen to this. Let's listen to this. I want you to listen to this and you Liberian listen to the radio too as well. Okay, I want to lay my hands on this properly.
This has always happened when the bullet on the program on several occasions they have been so they trusted military, the police, and whatsoever security apparatus. But the president of the Republic of Nigeria, President Waka, if we don't come up with a statement in response to what is happening.
So you listen to him calling on the president of the Republic of Liberia to come over the system. I think it's even more emotional than civil. That's why this is very concerning to him as a fuller person or somebody from the Islamic group or the Muslim community. But I think that should be done in the most civil way, not to be forceful, more emotional. It's somehow hurt, especially when other people feel that that tropical ethnic group are somehow being sidelined, when it comes to issue of national concern. But I think that steps needs to be followed, right? You cannot come on the social media and just be making upward statements. These statements is actually reflects a negativity on the state, especially the Fuda community. So everybody is weighing their opinion. President Bouaka does not need to come up with an official statement. Muslims have the right that other people have, like Christians have. Muslims have the right to do other things equally. We got Liberia, typical Fulani Liberian who's residing in this country, and they have access to everything. And besides, they are contributing immensely to the economy of Liberia. So this was not a good one. You listen to that essay. I mean, he was kind of emotional, feel bad, since the frustration in his voice. But I think there are steps need to be followed, and not for people to just be taking fun, coming on Facebook, saying a whole lot of things. This needs to be taken in the most appropriate way. But I do believe because the referral proceedings in China was not met through the Ministry of Justice, the person has to be halted. We understand that this security group, auxiliary security group, have been existing for a very long period of time, providing protection for our community, our Muslim brothers and sisters. But on the flip side, it's also good that we meet all necessary requirements. If we want to have an auxiliary group, that's the best way to form it. Labrador has a very modern democratic, and we don't need to do things that will actually have a legal implication, legal risk implication on our security sector. We know we doing it well. We some of us. I was fortunate to see 2003 war. I know how devastating it was. We read history around here. Over 250,000 people died during the war. We still moving there. So we are building a society of peace. Liberia is a country of value, cultural. So we need to uphold to the dignity of our country.
So Christopher, I don't think we will go back to the dark days that our forefathers and our parents witnessed, and many of whom lost everything they once owned, returning to becoming or calling parents
Sure.
that we met. So these issues are then put into court. Liberia is a country of law, not men. So listening to the essay he just played, like he said, the third was very emotional. He used some invectives. Yeah, that's not really worth it. Also, which how you hurt it, which of course. So, but once again, we want to say uh, to all of our ethnic groups out there, leaders of ethnic groups, we should not make similar mistakes.
Sure.
Yeah, we should not make similar mistake that was made by the United Security. I don't think when you go to the nearby police station and go to register a case, the police don't attend to it because you said you are a Pele man or you are a Mandingo man or a Loma man. No, the police will attend to your case and see that it be resolved the best way possible. And when you go to a court, I don't think the lawyers there can be more particular about your ethnicity.
No way.
No. So Liberia is a free country, and Liberia is a country of law, and our laws should be followed. This issue of establishing a group, a security group to protect a specific tribe, it should not be happening in our country. We have the Joint Security that is providing security both day and night, ensuring that our country is safe,
especially with the piece of vehicles
and more violence.
Right.
In recent time, our security have been addressing a lot of issues and been handling them the best way possible. The best way possible, like we witnessed the scene umbrella when that invasion process was on. We saw some fellows believed to be Muslim. I don't know if they were, yeah, because it's not established. So I don't want to speak to that. Believed to be Muslims, chanting battle crowd, throwing stones, they have machetes all in their hands. You see that? We see very horrible on the internet.
Obviously.
Those who saw it, right? And the police took seize of that matter. Those who were involved were arrested, and they are facing the trial.
I mean, let's just take for let's have this reflection. We have some community watch team. We have there's a group organizing itself in I think Kapau. Yes, Kapau. Of course, every night as I listen to local community radio station, you always listen like your door, like your window, Kapau. You know, people around close the door, and you always hear this guy providing updates on the happening within the different communities in Monrovia. Even they have organized themselves wherein they have extended their groups to nearby counties, and people have been phoned in all over. They have security apparatus. The last time I think that there was a situation somewhere around the Johnsonville belt. I think one group it was about a land dispute, and I think one group went and they allegedly got that a church on fire, and immediately the pastor called the Kapau person, and it was somehow bad because I'm talking about somewhere around 4 a.m. And the Kapau team they called directly to Central Police Station, calling for a more backup. So there's a police station around, I don't know whether it's in 4 or where, around the Johnsonville Bell, I think around radar stuff. And they have to run that corridor to calm the situation down. You understand? So I think having this auxiliary group, this will also buttress the community sector more, especially when it comes to our community. You can also organize that particular group, go to the proper channel, and serve within the community. That would also help you a lot. But coming on the national level, forming a group, I mean, it has serious different perspectives and a whole lot of controversy surrounding this entire issue. It's not bad. The intent is not bad. It's good they are being existed, but we're just talking about the record proceedings. Go ahead.
Like you said, Kapau have been around for a long time.
Obviously.
Not protecting a specific religion,
Certainly.
not protecting a specific tribe, but providing security for Liberians at night.
Definitely.
They are also buttressing the national security apparatus.
Yes, sir.
See that? We've been following. We have benefited from the Kapau Swift Response Unit because the police is not everywhere.
Definitely.
All time, right? But through the help of Kapau guys, the police respond immediately.
Criminal rate has been used.
You see that? So the Kapau security they are quite different from this Fulani security that is protecting a specific religion, and in particular a specific tribe, the Fulani community. You see that? So it's totally wrong in my word. It's totally wrong, and we want to say thanks again that this issue have been arrested at time, and we hope that they follow the rightful channel, the nomenclature be changed, and then it goes to the rightful procedure that we will not witness similar thing happening in our country.
So, and I think the government through the Ministry of Justice has improved this its public trust, especially when it comes to transparency on this particular matter, by issuing a press statement on this entire national planning security. Again, if you're just joining us, this is EOBC 99.9, the nation Tipra, the radio series of the Liberia Broadcasting System. I would like to say welcome if you just join us through via our social media handle. I'd like to say thanks for watching. And we'll take the short break. When we come back, we'll take our course, and of course, let's have some interaction with our caller right here on this FM dial.
Everybody's radio.
ELBC Radio 99.9 FM.
This is the nation's pride. ELBC Radio 99.9 FM.
On ELBC Radio from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Oh yes, I love entertainment.
Set it back up. We're about to talk about corruption cases. Corruption cases in general. Corruption cases. Yes.
Kapow, kapow. This is EOBC 99.9, the FM dial of the Liberia Broadcasting System. And of course, if you're just joining our lecture, so welcome. You're listening, you've been following this conversation with my colleague and myself, Kaba, sorry, and you've been listening to all of the conversations we've been providing on this particular issue. So the opportunity is yours to place in your call, and let's see whether we can cut our numbers for you to put in your calls. You can call on 0880-514 096, 0880-514 096, 0775 673776, 0775 677376, 0880-514 096, 0775 677376. Put in your calls, and then let's have some conversation right here. And let's have our first call. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Can you walk away from your monitor? Good evening. Your name and where have you joined us from?
This is Point State Party joining you from the Wagofi Highway.
Go ahead. You got 30 seconds.
Thank you so much, and thanks to the panelists there who just provided key information as related to the Fulani's entity or security fund. You see, we don't want to go back. If only they can go back to the Justice Ministries and do the right thing. I will just ask very simple questions. In time past from the day some of them existed in this country, is it the Fulani security fund that have been protecting them? Since they've been conducting Ramadan, the Liberia National Police have been there for everyone in this country. So let them do a due diligence, and let them also be careful with their utterance, because the Liberians and other ethnic groups are also watching them carefully.
Thank you so much. Let's get to the next person. Good evening. Good evening, your name and where have you joined us from? 30 seconds quickly. Let's hear you, Ato.
Yeah, thank you for the discussion. You know, if they say Labra is a freedom on the water, then we shouldn't be worried like this. You can't go gay, we cannot go gay, and don't get what you want to do. That's all the question is, they're asking us for another country. I can't feel like what kind of country, and they tell us that, oh, they want to have their own situation.
They are Fulanis who are Liberians though.
There's something money for them, because we can go money, yeah.
Thank you so much. That guys still turn out this Kabbalah team have a call there. Go ahead.
Good evening. Your name and where are you joining us from? Okay, thank you. Good evening. Your name and where are you joining us from? Yes, good evening. Yeah, George Robert. Let's hear you. Okay. Okay. Okay, George Baba. Okay.
Good evening. Can you walk away from the radio? Oh my God, you gotta speak. I can continue like this. Good evening. Good evening. You live on ELBC. Good evening. Can you hear me? Can you hear this person? Good evening. Good evening, Anima. Where have you joined us from? Go ahead, Anthony. Let's hear you.
Thank you very much for the topic tonight. First of all, the school out of the country, let me correct him. The country was following all Christian principles 100%. They were only backing the constitution that Samuel do amended that will be some class business. So we should not be misleading people that when the US is some class law.
Thank you so much. And let's get to the next person. Good evening.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Your name and where have you joined us from?
My name is Hussein. I'm Hussein Care by Comrade Chickasaw.
Hussein, let's hear you.
So I listened to your online care, the call from Canada. Let me state this on the record. Liberia is a secular state. If you read the Constitution of Liberia, it clearly tells you that Liberia is a secular state. It don't belong to any group of people. You understand? That's the first correction they made. Because the former president of the country has been Christian, it does not suggest Liberia a Christian nation. Just to move on with that. Looking forward, I hear my brothers from the other side. If I'm Muslim, a religion of our tribe. Over the period since last summer started, we have seen electricity all on the street. I live in Jacostown. If you go to Platinum Mosque, the street is electrified. In my community, the street is electrified. Do we need extra security? No, because the light itself is secured by itself. Now we see the police moving patrolling in different corners at night. Do we need extra security force? Only I think it is in sheer contradiction and violation of the Constitution of our country.
Thank you so much, Hussein. Thank you so much, Hussein. Thank you so much. Let's get to our Lone Star line.
Good evening. Your name and where are you joining us from? Elijah, let's hear you. Hello?
We take another person.
Okay.
John.
Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Lawrence. Okay, thank you. Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Roosevelt. Okay, thank you. Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Abraham.
When the former president said that he wanted to teach people as presidency, and so he didn't do it. And that group today, they are seeing Nigeria terrible destruction. So Liberia is for every one of us. And we have to think back in this country. So where the Fulani are coming from now, seeing that they want to form their own security force.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Let's see whether we can have this person on our line. Good evening. Okay, go ahead, Bayoga. Let's hear you.
National security are going to come in a stronger form. Because these people, they are foreigners living within our border. They do not have the constitutional right to foreign security apparatus. So I think I would recommend that these people are really to put them back to the country of origin.
Thank you. Let's get to the next person. Good evening. Go ahead. Your name and where you join us from. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Thank you. I got a Lone Star line.
Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Mr. James. Okay. Okay. Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Can you walk away from the monitor, please? Can you please walk away from your receiver? Let's hear you. Your name and where you join us from? Your name, please. Yeah, let's hear you, Mr. Batu. Okay. Okay. Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Good evening. Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, man. Hello.
Your question is not ready, Jim.
Let's hear you. Yeah, let's hear you. Okay, so I don't think she's running for business. Good evening, your name and where you join us from?
Okay.
Yes, good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you.
Yeah, I don't understand the ministry for putting on today process because the same thing that people doing in Nigeria today to get rid of over right here. And the way it's starting, other tribes start coming out together. I want you to be
Okay.
So let's get to this person. Good evening. Good evening, your name and where you join us from?
I'm calling from them.
Let's hear you, Patrick.
You know, this conversation is very, very nice. But you know what? The meaning comes from we is listening from here. All those people that they talking about where so that why you know Islam is taking themselves to captivity. It comes from this election. When we were thinking when the election going on there, the people will start more people want you to look more in our politicians. When in Liberia here, I saw somebody down, hello, do money. Some of those politicians, because of populations,
Can continue. You have seen the time. Good evening. Good evening. I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Mr. Jacob.
thank you for the show. I think our Liberia National Police, the army, even the community watch for vigilant enough and they are sufficient enough to be able to carry on the security processes in Liberia. Those people are in regular places, they're the one just the thing that they get to the justice administration so that they can give them permission to carry on the they can stop it. We need peace, and the peace are being built over 10, 15, 20 years, 25 years. Let nobody take away. Thank you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Good evening, your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you from there in New Georgia Estate. Okay, I don't think she's following. So you can listen to the callers.
The person. You got a caller there?
Oh.
Okay. Good evening. Good evening. Go ahead. Your name and where you join us from? Good evening. Guys, popping up too much. Your name and where you join us from? Okay. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from?
I'm trying to play from kind of reason.
Go ahead. Let's hear you, China.
So the individual that you play a clip for, he was so pressing, but he sounded one, how you can call it, or jihadist leader. He sounded very aggressive, even including the president, even saying things that he even supposed to say. So these people, when it comes to their attitude, their behavior, is quite obvious to the republic. They need to be careful on how they do things because if they don't, they will create a situation that will not be fine for them. For example, things that are happening in
You got time? Let's get to this person. Good evening. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Thank you.
Let's go to our Lone Star line.
We got the last person. So let's get it. Okay.
Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Good evening. Joining us from where, Lawrence? Where are you calling from? Let's hear you, Lawrence. Yeah, I think we have to let Lawrence go. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Masira. But there are Fulanese, there are Fulanese who were born here. So hmm, hmm, hmm. Okay.
Can I?
Okay, Mama. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Martin. What's going on there?
Can we just stick to the
Okay,
issue?
so we are not discussing that. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from?
I got call. Yeah, let's take this one. This antenna. Good evening. Good evening. I'm good. Go ahead. Your name and where you join us from? Okay, let's hear you quickly. Okay. Thank you so much. They are not part of the security. Still got more calls coming too. Yeah. Good evening. Your name and where have you joined us from? Good evening. Can you walk away from your monitor?
My name is Teamwork.
Teamwork. Go ahead.
I'm opening a peaceful.
Thank you so much. Good morning. Good evening. Good evening. You are live. Your name and where have you joined us from? Go ahead. Let's hear you. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you something. For every country, assets in their life.
Thank you. Thank you. Let's get to the next caller. Tana.
Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Good evening. Okay, we have to let you go.
So you got caught. Let's take this person. Good evening. Good evening, your name and where have you joined us from? You gotta change your location. I'm not getting you.
much for your show.
All right. Go ahead. Your name and where you joining us from?
Yes, and then I come from my market.
Go ahead, quickly.
And so I was just to commend you for this program. You know, there's no joke in snake mouth. Even if I wanted to have their private security, it should be done legally. But they will not just get and do anything that would like I listen to one of the color our grandkids. This is like pulling in and during the election they just took them for a cross and brought them, they voted. And because of the rights to give them is why this thing is going on like that. But I want to thank you for the show tonight.
Thank you. Good evening. Tana, let's get to you, get that caller.
Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear your voice.
When I take my car,
Okay, so was that caller?
I think we got a caller. We take the last two calls and then we move to our next conversation. Good evening. Good evening. You live. Go ahead. Your name and where you join us from? Thank you. The last person. My God. Go ahead. Can you hear me? Good evening. This person is not ready. Do you have a call there? We'll take the last person. One more.
Okay, so let's take this caller. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Good evening. Your name and where you join us from?
Good evening, Chief. And this is the voice of Sewa Gabriel. I'm calling for Chelsea.
Let's hear you, Gabriel.
Yeah, thank you very much for your research. Firstly, the Fulanese asked us for Java starters in this country before, if you recall.
Yeah.
And that was not granted to them by the government of this country. And today, all of the related, they unreal decide to form or service network or structure that was under the government after the 1700s, for which the government of this country or the federal government of this country should action. And as such, this the government said that the share option, if it can't die, we'll follow the Loma Security Council.
The Loma Security Council. Okay. Okay, so we take this caller. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Yes, your name and where you join us from? Yes, good evening. Okay, we lost that caller. Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, Prince. Okay, Prince, let's hear you. Oh, we lost Princess.
Take the last two calls recorded on
Your name and where you join us from? Where are you calling us from? Your name, please.
Hello?
Yes, hello, you are live. Your name and where are you joining us from? Okay, I think she's not hearing us. So, Christopher, you can probably take two calls and then we can move on to the next part.
Let's see what I have got here on this FM dot. Good evening. Good evening, your name and where have you joined us from? Go ahead. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Let's hear you. Go ahead, quickly.
Thank you. But what I want to tell you about the Fulani, when chicken white, you white.
Okay.
When chicken black, you black. The Oba, you can't tell the Oba about who. They are the citizens of this area. I was saying the time the policemen went to arrest the people that they put all the policemen and they were on the street calling for justice. That is the same thing they're doing. They beat all the policemen and we the same Nigerian people, we the one can fight those people. So whether
they got proceeded to go to Ministry of Justice to have clearance. As a previous caller said, they allow this. All the family that grew up with our own private security.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're the very last caller. Good evening.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Go.
I'm okay, so I'll call you from the Boston of Bukele.
Let's hear you.
Yeah, you see what happened to some matter a long time ago in Ivory Coast. We should be taking in that direction. So what we do here is even before a security fund is they gotta be accredited by even the Justice Ministry. How did they come about training the security? See, and one thing we have, somebody said it too, we have laws they call felony, a crime that is above. You see, and people can be accused for that. You see, why they came out with those kind of an idea of coming on with their own security. Nobody is in the homes, and nobody is also trying to target people. And then we gotta be very, very careful. Let them be law about it. Now, if you are saying that you're banking for Satan, is that how you will go? Now, when the baby is born here, the boy is like this. Then, when the baby is born now, I think we have a returning agreement. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. And of course, thank you so much. That's all the time we have for calls on this segment of the program, Not Line Liberia, with our first talking point on this national Fulani security. Do you listen to that, Tana? What do you have to say before we move on to our next talking point?
So I think all of our callers went in a specific direction. They frowned against this establishment.
Sure.
And most of them commend the government for the swift action taken.
Sure.
So there's nothing more to talk about. Like we have said, this security issues should be left with the national security apparatus.
Certainly.
And this establishment of the national Fulani security of Liberia is not in its place, like the Justice Minister said. So they should undo what they have done in the past and follow the rightful channel. And we don't want to see all of the traps of Liberia establishing the defense force, the local defense force, like the color who call for Johnson Brigade. So if this go on, if this is given the right, they will establish a local defense force.
It's not comical, but it's important.
Yeah, it's not comical. So we know that will not be the security apparatus have already taken seat of this matter.
Sure.
And it will be laid to rest, and then we will go about our daily activity peacefully, because I don't think no one is in a rush. No one is more protected in Liberia, or specific tribe is not the particular tribe that is protected in Liberia. All Liberians, aliens, foreign nationals are protected under the laws of our country. So we don't want a specific religious group to be more threatened, or a specific tribe to be more threatened, and then try to form a defense force that will protect extra security for them outside of the bounds of our national security apparatus, the joint security that have been doing exceptionally well since the inception of this government.
Thanks so much, Tana James Kaba, my co-host. He's here, and of course, we're providing our opinion. I give you full analysis of the national security of the Fulani community, talking about giving protection to the Muslim community as it relates to this holy Ramadan. I want to say happy Ramadan to all Muslims who hold in this fast. This is Liberia National Television Live. You're watching online, and of course, this is the Equatorial Latitude Broadcasting Corporation, ELBC, the Radio Seattle Liberia Broadcasting System, the nation's proud. We'll take this shout, but we'll come back. Move straight to the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, and I love the Ministry of Public Works. This short musical break with our theme song, and we join you quickly with our next segment on these two trending topics. So you want to start? They are coming with LCD. You want to start with correction? There'll be a little chip in. You can put on public work. So 9:30 I start with 9:20. And of course, how to bring this down, kapow, kapow. Yeah, we still might let's terminate topics. Let me say good evening to you, Mr. Emmanuel Bestman, and of course, until you following somewhere around the bush or ass like. Tana, welcome back. So if you listen to the colors and move on, I'm our next talking point is the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. Or recent there's news a two-person being sentenced to 5-year prison. This is all centered around corruption accountability, especially when it comes to our census. Been too many concerns being raised with our census. You understand our enumerators said that the workshop given, I mean, they were taught to a workshop, wasn't given a campaign, and other people are seeing a whole lot of delay of their campaign. What's your take on this entire Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission? This particular body, they are established to actually strengthen all of the sectors avoid of corruption. What's the take on it?
So, Christopher, the establishment they had that established this anti-graft institution, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commissions, were established to fast track and name corrupt officials and tolerance for further proceeding, that legal proceedings. So there have been several cases of people, government officials who have been indicted of corruptions. The witnesses during the past regime, during so many regimes, and now the current regime. There have been several corruption cases that have been brought to the public by the LCC, and the government have taken seize of this matter. And we witnessed in recent time, like you said, I think it was this week, if I said to be corrected,
this week,
two officials of latest were sentenced to 5 years imprisonment and have been asked to restitute. That means to pay the money they stole, right? Because they have already been found guilty. So they will not be saying allegedly, right? So they are already been found guilty of that act. So they have been sentenced to 5 years imprisonment, and they will try to repay what they have stolen from government coffers. And just to name a few of those cases that have been trending for quite a while now, but many Liberians have called on government to fast track this process. Like we witnessed in recent time when famous social media talk show host Justin Opa Yezen was speedily trapped and sentenced to 6 months imprisonment for a constant invectives he used against the bench of the Supreme Court of Liberia, accusing them of corruption of which he couldn't substantiate and try to provide clear evidence of those claims he made in the past. And because of that, he was being invited to explain beyond all reasonable doubt why he should not be held in contempt. And because he could not explain to the court why he should not be held in contempt, and he pleaded guilty of his crime, he was sentenced to 6 months imprisonment. So many Liberians also want to see similar thing being carried out on those corrupt government officials, those alleged corrupt government officials. I mean, right? So Liberians, some are tired of waiting, some are tired of being seated in that waiting seat to see that corrupt government officials who have stolen from the Liberian people, who have caused poverty on the lives of Liberians who live in rural Liberia, like Bogo Jide. There are not too many schools. It's because of corrupt government officials. There are not much healthcare facilities being provided to Liberians our pregnant mothers and sisters. Some die because of poor health care. It's because of corrupt government officials. So many Liberians want to see those who have corrupt our country cover being tried and sent to prison, like we witness with the famous social media and talk show of Prophet Key, right? So, so I've said it's long overdue. It's long overdue, but I would also like to say this: legal proceedings do takes time, right? It's not something that is just fine because the state must be able to provide evidence beyond all reasonable doubt on the accusation raised. So these things it take a lot of time. So it's not something that just happened out of the blue moon, and then one morning we see people going to jail, like we witnessed with Trump.
Great. It's disappointing again to actually see people who in higher position embezzling resources, and I think the judicial system, the system is fixed, the system's working, and I think the law is taking their own course. But I get this release from the Liberal Anti-Corruption Commission, and it says Criminal Code C sentences former religious officials to 5-year imprisonment over 2021 census form misuse. Criminal Code C at the Temple of Justice has sentenced two major officials of the Liberal Institute of Statistics and Geoinformation Services, LIGIS, to 5 years imprisonment each of their involvement in the misuse of public funds allocated for Liberia's 2021 National Population and Housing Census. Presiding Judge Usman Fiaka handed down the sentence against Lawrence George, former Deputy Director General of Port Administration, and Dominic P., former Controller of Legis, after upholding a unanimous guilty verdict returned by the jury. The case was prosecuted by the Liberal Anti-Corruption Commission (LACC) following the 2023 indictment. According to the LACC, investigations revealed that approximately US 1.75 million allocated for census-related activities between 2019 and 2022 could not fully be accounted for. During their trial, the prosecution presented evidence pointing to procurement irregularities, unsupported workshop payments, unauthorized compensation, and the failure to remit required taxes, all of which contributed to the misuse of public funds met for a crucial national exercise. In addition to prison sentences, the court ordered George and Pay to restitute US 97,000, representing the outstanding balance of the disputed funds. The court also took note that three co-defendants, including former Legis Director General Francis Ware, had earlier repaid US $30,898 to the government of Liberia after admitting to the charges brought against him. In delivering his ruling, Judge Fiaka stated that the prosecution's case was clear, cogent, and compelling, and that the defense failed to effectively rebut the evidence presented. He therefore affirmed that the jury's unanimous verdict would stand. The LCC has welcomed the ruling, describing it as a major milestone in Liberia's fight against corruption and a strong reminder that public officials entrusted with state resources will be held accountable for their actions. The judgment underscored the government of Liberia's commitment to transparency, accountability, and the rule of law, and sends a clear message that misuse of public funds, particularly to those intended for national development, will not be tolerated. Tana, we talking about US 1.795 million, US 1,795,000. This is what we're talking about. Two individuals.
See that?
From 2019 to 2022.
See that?
Where has that money gone? People start in for workshop. You train them. They start paying that needed to be a lawyer to them. What has it gone?
It is good. It is good that they are being persecuted for their wrong.
And they really said
in the past.
they really said I think they are tourist numbers. They all federal repay and 30,000. So I mean, was caught. They were caught in the cookie.
Yeah, they could have found them guilty, right? And they will be made to pay every cent,
Mhm.
every cent they use illegally,
Mhm.
they will also serve their sentence.
We cannot be on
I think that's a win for Liberians.
Certainly.
I think that's a win.
And LACC, I want to say hats up to the Director General there, the Commissioner herself, and she's been doing extremely well in backing on corruption cases. There are too many cases. She also pushing for a special court as it relates to LACC. I remember once upon a time she appears at the Mika regular that's the Ministry of Information and Mika. The Ministry of Information regular press briefing, she emphasized on this particular having a specialized court for alleged corrupt official. And I think this is important, this is essential. This will help strengthen our economy. Liberia as a country cannot be on the path of development. And we have people who the government are trusted to serve in certain positions. And you be allegedly taking government money that does not belong to you. 1.7 now million, 1,795,000. What were you doing with all this kind of money? This money was meant for people to be trained, for people to go in the field, for people to carry on their enumerations. Where have that money gone?
I think Christopher, this government is doing exceptionally well when it comes to the fight against corruption.
Mm-hmm.
The president
It's not backing down on it.
is bent on persecuting corrupt officials,
Certainly.
both from the past regime and those in the current.
Interesting,
Right.
interesting.
So he's doing extremely well. He has suspended and sent to LCC, right?
Mm.
He has suspended a lot of officials.
Reshuffle
government. He has reshuffled government officials, right? That he felt are not qualified or competent in terms of not taking their hand off the cookie's job, right?
Mm-hmm.
We saw in the case of Wemo Page,
Sure.
right, who are relieved of his position. We can name several other government officials who resigned,
Mm-hmm.
right, when the issue of suspension was knocking at their door,
Mm-hmm.
or expulsion was knocking at the door by this president,
Sure.
right? So the president is doing exceptionally well. We must commend him for that, right? Mm-hmm. So it's one thing that brought this government to power, so they are living up to what they have said, right, in the past before coming to power.
Sure.
So they are trying in terms of prosecuting those past government officials that have been accused of corruption. So they will have their days in court.
Sure.
And be able to explain, right, or provide evidence that to substantiate what they should not be called government officials. They should be able to exonerate themselves of the court.
Do you,
right?
do you think the 5-year imprisonment for these two individuals from Legis is adequate?
Is that what the law says? Christopher, remember, I cannot say something outside of the law.
Of course.
If that what the law says, they should be held liable and be sent to prison for 5 years and be able to repay those stolen dollars that is took from government coffers.
So let me just run you through on some of the major cases being prosecuted or investigated by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. And this one says Legis Census corruption case. This is a brand new one. It's from 2023 to 2026. Individuals involved are Lawrence George, former Deputy Director General, Dominic Pay, former controller, and Francis Ware. Remember, he paid a sum of 38,000. He had been exonerated. Not all his still remain a balance to pay. And the allegation was misuse of approximately US 1.79 million in census fund and procurement for unsupported payment and unauthorized compensation. So there were two allegations for which the verdict was given upon, and two serving is 5 years imprisonment at the Liberia Central Prison. What's the outcome of this? The outcome of George and Pay's sentence to 5 years imprisonment. Partial restituted order for which they said that they were not able to afford because it was imposed on them to pay the sum of 98,000. What is the significance of this particular case? Case relating to these two individuals. This is one of the clearest recent examples of successful prosecution and imprisonment of senior government officials. The next case that was investigated or that has been investigated by the LCC is the National Oil Company of Liberia NOCA corruption case in 2019. Those individuals involved were Mr. Christopher Zio, former CEO of NOCA, and other senior executives, and their allegations were economic sabotage, misuse of approximately US 6 million in all company funds, unauthorized benefits, and illegal payment. What was the outcome? CEO was convicted and sentenced to prison. This was one of the major convictions of the state enterprise here. And this one is from the former agriculture minister case that Mr. Christopher Toll from 2014 to 2017. This allegation was misuse of public funds, financial mismanagement during his tenure. The outcome, he was charged by the LCC and legal proceedings faced delay in challenges. So the significance of the particular case, it illustrates how political influence and legal delays can complicate anti-corruption commission. Next, we have the Liberia Airport Authority case, the LAA 2020, and the individuals involved were senior officials at the Liberia Airport Authority, and the allegation was for procurement for misuse of airport operational funds. What was the outcome of that particular case? Indictment was filed and makes progress in prosecution. Next is the National Disaster Management Agency COVID-19 fund investigation from 2020 to 2022. What was the allegation? The allegation was misuse of COVID-19 emergency funds, financial irregularities. What was the outcome of this particular case? The outcome was investigation launched and some administrative decisions or some administrators were sanctioned. Next is the formal finance and development planning official investigation. The LCC has investigated official links to public payroll fraud, ghost worker, and budget misappropriation. I think that has to do with the former finance minister, Amos, and that's Samuel 12. Next is the Central Bank of Liberia CDL currency investigation for 2018 to 2022. What was the allegation? The allegation was mismanagement in newly printed Liberian banknotes, possible financial irregularities and accountability gaps. Individual investigator, including senior official at the Central Bank of Liberia, was the outcome of the particular case. Investigation conducted with international partners, administrative and political consequences. So far, Tana, these were major cases being prosecuted or investigated by the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission. About 7 cases being prosecuted by the LCC. So I think this is important, and this actually strengthened the successful prosecution as it relates to senior officials being indicted in corruption cases, especially when it comes to the economy of the state. This is very disheartening. So I think there are key mentions, there are key mechanisms needs to be put in place more, and there are more support that's needed for the LCC, because if this continue, we will actually be having a budget shortfall too as well. So with the LCC and calling for a specialized food, I think this will help boost the LCC strength to indict, to prosecute, and to investigate more corruption cases.
So I don't believe, probably I stand to be corrected, that the LCC have prosecuting power.
Mhm.
So they are given the right to indict and name corrupt officials, people who have been alleged of corruption, which will have their day in court, because the law says everyone is innocent under the law
Mhm.
until he or she is proven guilty. So you can accuse a man of corruption, and he will have a day in court.
But Tana, do
Yes.
you know most of the
He will have a day in court. I'm coming.
Okay.
First of all, he will have a day in court. So many Liberians, they are eager, like I said in my intro, right? They are eager in seeing many corruption cases that have been flying through the airways being brought to a logical conclusion, where probably they will see people being exonerated of their accusation or prosecuted. Until then, the issue of raising concerns on corruption cases, or probably when you see other cases being expedited speedily, people will come. Say, oh, why you people are focusing more attention on this case? What we have corrupt official languages all around here, all passing from here and there, right? Liberians will say these things. Yes.
Jim, there have been the LCD have also been complaining on structural constraints. They have been facing a lot of structural constraints. We have a lot of weaknesses. You know, the cases are too many. And once, the cases are made it to the court, sometimes the case face delays in the court. The case face serious delay in the court. Sometimes they can be limited conviction rate, can be compared to the number of investigations. So the investigation is high, but the limitation of the conviction rate is somehow limited. Some of the weaknesses is also having a political influence.
Yeah.
You know,
So all these things will play.
also have historical influence. So some of these things they also contribute. There are factors contribute to the weaknesses of some of these cases. You know, especially when it comes to the structural constraint of the LECD. You understand there have been limited investigative resources. There are not much resources being allocated to the LECD. Many at times, on the commissioner will serve appear at the press briefing, and then she'll be very very much crystal on it, calling for more allocation. You understand? Calling for speedy trial. Sometimes it can be more complex with a legal system. So it's a whole lot, especially especially having a government official being allegedly involved, especially under this walkout, President Joseph walkout administration. Sometimes you understand there's a whole lot of political interplay, especially coming from past government all the way into this current government. The weak sometimes it just cut it. Some of these things also weaken financial tracking system in government agencies. So there are more resources that needs to be allotted to this particular institution. The LCC is trying her best, honestly. The LCC is trying. That's why when you go to every government institution, agency, autonomous agency, whatever line ministry, you understand that there's an internal auditor there to ensure that all record, all fundings are being spent the rightful way.
So personally, I think we would like to take few calls on the public views on this particular topic. So
people will tell call. Let me bring you the development very quickly from the Minister of Public Work. I think there's one minister who's been doing extremely well. Let me see what I can lay my hands on it. I want to bring you this quick development from the Ministry of Public Work. Yes, let me see where I can lay my hands on a row where the Minister Roland Gideon Lapiti. I think he's been doing extremely well. He visited over 6 communities of recent, and of course, these communities roads are being paved, covered, potholes. I don't know whether you can lay your hands on it. I want to just read it because it's very very much important. It's important. So the time is 9 minutes. For then I cannot lay my hands on it. So, folks, you've been listening to us. If you're just joining us, we'd like to say thanks for listening. This is LBC 99.9. And of course, the Radio Cell Broadcasting System. You've been listening to us. We're bringing you different topics, especially with our recent conversation on the LECC. 2 persons being indicted. So, let's see whether we can take few calls. We almost about to wrap it up. But let's see whether we can take few calls on 0775 677376 0775 Son again, read our loans and number
880-514-096 0880-514-096. That's our loan line. You can call us. Now to say on this topic regarding the LCC and corrupt government officials that are being indicted. 0880-514-096
I think we have a caller here. Let's see who this person. Good evening. Good evening. Oh my God. And I'll continue with it. Good evening. I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. And then where are you doing this from? Thank you so much. Let's hear you quickly.
But it's necessary to have these things so that we will be able to be achieve pricing. That decision is very fine. You know, people take money and put it in it and nothing is done about it. When these people are found guilty, they should face the weight of the law, which is fine for us.
Sure, definitely. Let's see. This person running out of time. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Calling from Fellow.
Quickly, let's hear you, Patrick.
You know, this correction business, we have to take it to be serious. There's a new thing that people vote for. And we accuse the other people that they are corrupt. They have to face justice so we can have them be clear. People are here passing around and say we don't do this, we don't do this. Because everybody has to be serious. Not only the government, but the government prosecute those people that the courts take possible, to say something inside, that we can rest now. And our country can go ahead.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Good evening. Go ahead, let's hear you. Go ahead, Roosevelt. Mhm. Mhm. Thank you so much. You made your point. Good evening.
Good evening.
I'm doing good. Thanks for asking. Your name and where have you joined us from?
Little boy from Pittsfield. For
Okay.
me, I think the Anti-Corruption Commission is doing very little. And the courts as well are doing very little to handle corruption issue in this country.
Why do you say that?
Take, for example, Samuel Tuel, who have confessed and admitted of using the money. Why is he still here around here? And the court is sitting down looking at him.
But do you know that sometimes the court delays when it comes to cases?
That very case is nothing to delay. It's nothing to delay. Using the money to the same when he's even asking to run on the president.
Thank you so much.
Good evening. Your name and where you join us from? Let's hear you, nurse. Okay. Thank you. So I think that ends the.
We get to this person. Good evening. Yes, I'm doing fine. Go ahead. Let's hear you. Let's hear you. 30 seconds.
Okay, I'd like to say thank you for the discussion that I've already would like to say a kudos to the CC and would like to say that.
Thank you. This next person. Good evening. Your name and where have you joined us from?
My name is Steve. I'm calling from opposite.
Go ahead. Let's hear you doing work.
I'm appealing to the government, all those that need to go for questions and carry them. Our money, our taxpayer money, making them. We need our country to be developed. This is like they are taking them, those who supposed to be traveling and give our money. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Good evening. Y'all start with the last caller.
Good evening.
Okay, let's hear you.
Our promise if I said to be corrected for 8047 or to 2006, government come and go, and prosecution for.
So we have to call it there, and of course, for thanks to all of you who placed in your course. My name is Christopher Bessel.
In a web of time, we got 2 minutes. That will be close of this program. So my name is Steiner James Kaba. It's good to be here once more. And many thanks to all of our callers who called, those who tried calling but couldn't get through.
Yes,
We
sir.
also want to say thanks as well. Those who listen, those who play the silent role, these are our MVP. So we want to say thanks.
Thank you so much for joining us. And of course, the program that Line Liberia take its usual weekend break, Friday for everybody. Liberia Broadcasting.
The Department of New Media and Rebranding of the Liberia Broadcasting System presents Nightline Liberia. From the valleys of Liberia to the top of Wologisi Mountain, Nimba, Grand Kipmau, River G, to the coast of Sino, Bassa, Bong, Riverses, Maryland, Margibi, Grand Cru, Bapolu, Grand Jide, and Monserrado. We present to you Nightline Liberia, a primetime talk show loaded with factual news, fresh information, not fiction. Nightline Liberia. We set the tune. We control the airwaves. We are the nation's pride, the biggest platform. Our panelists are some of Liberia's brightest and best political analysts from diverse backgrounds, like Vandela Patrick, Dr. Lester Zomatic Tene, Al Hussein Fadiga, Sansin Brown Toh, Daniel Sando, and Eugene Lamin Fangon. Nightline Liberia begins at 8 p.m. with 60 minutes around the country, bringing you updates from LBS correspondents. Nightline Liberia's final segment kicks off with its panelists and pundits from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. as they propound on trending national issues. Nightline Liberia. Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country.
When we work together, there's nothing we cannot overcome as a people. This is